mit Supplier Management 16. Dezember 23 und wir reden heute über Supplier Audits. Okay. Was wir bei einem Audit machen, ist, wir gehen vor Ort, okay? Im Idealfall. Im Idealfall geht man vor Ort und der soll Prozessausgleich besser gesagt, zu ermitteln. Sorry, in English, right? Mm-hmm. So we've got a current state. We look at the current state and we compare it with the future state or with the desired state. Okay, so we have a desired state. This is what we have agreed with our supplier. And then we look at the current state. Und das Delta ist, was das Audit dann misst. Delta gleich 0, Stop. Delta größer 0, schlecht. Okay? So, we, supplier manager, perform an audit to measure the current state and compare it with a standard or desired state. Okay, whatever we have agreed with our supplier. Okay. We aim to measure the current state of the process however, a process is a complex reality. I mentioned this already the first day, okay? That can only be explained with multiple KPIs. So if you have a process, let's say a production process or something, or purchasing process or logistic process, anything, right? So you can imagine this process is like a little sphere, okay, and a kugel, and you can look at it from different perspectives. So you can look at it from the perspective of quality, and then you have so this is your point of view, quality. And this is what the quality department does. So you measure the ppms, parts per million, right? So you measure ppms. Or you can look at it from the perspective of efficiency. Right? So, and then you measure the HPU, hours per unit. And all these you should already know from our past lectures in the previous semesters. HPU means hours per unit. To measure efficiency, or you can measure cost. And you measure euros per unit, and so on and so forth. So you can look at a process from different perspectives, right? And by looking at the process from different perspectives, you explain the process as a whole. You have a shadow of the process. Okay, so imagine now you don't see the sphere, and you only see this area, and this area. Okay. And this is actually the real state of any manager, any place in the world. You don't see the whole reality of your surface. It could be like this, okay? It could be like this, okay? You think it's a round sphere, very beautiful, but in reality it's an ugly thing, okay? So, and this is the reality in which you are going to be involved in the next, let's say, 6 months, okay? Surfaces along the management, this is going to be fluid, okay? This is going to be an ever-changing mass of relationships, of things going on between people, conflicts, people not liking each other, not talking to each other. This leads to bad blood and so on, right? So you want to make sure you have a good idea of the process by defining good KPIs that describe the variability of the process correctly. And this is the important message, okay? So the important message is, I put here my H4 superhero. There is no way to explain the whole variability of the process with one KPI. Okay? The only way to know that we're good is by looking add several KPIs. This allows us to explain a higher amount of variability related to the process. Okay? And one way to do it, there are many, but one way to do it is by doing audits. So an audit is a qualitative way of looking at these things. Okay? So, how is the audit process? We will look later on in the next lectures at quantitative ways. Okay, just do it with numbers, but this is just a way to look at it in qualitative terms. An audit is a qualitative approach to inspect the variability related to processes, right? And like with any KPI, you can think about an audit like a KPI, okay? But it's qualitative. So like any KPI, you only measure one part of the reality, only one way, right? You look at cost, or you look at quality, or you look at whatever. So when we are going to inspect one specific audit. It's like the example that I like to use because it's easy to understand. It's about cleanliness, okay? Ordnung und Sauberkeit. So example. Order and cleanliness. So the process is like this. You first get an audit leader. Which is usually a supplier manager. Especially if you do this role in the company, try to go to your suppliers as much as you can. Okay? Do not say, no, it's in Taiwan. No, go. Because then you will learn a lot, especially now that you are gaining experience. Go and visit, go to Mexico, go to Thailand, go to places, okay? If you see a lot of factories, you will learn a lot. That's super important, okay? And if you have a plan in your mind how to look at things following an audit, you can learn much better, much faster, okay? So for the record, I spent the first 3 years of my career being an audit expert on equipment maintenance. So I went to factories around the world in China, Mexico, Brazil, blah, blah, trying to find errors in the machines and fixing them with little projects. And I learned a lot, okay? I was the fetch boy for a Japanese consultant, and he taught me a lot of things, right? So this is a very good way to learn fast. So the second thing is you need a cover for your audit. And the cover is just stating stuff like company, date, department, begin, end, stuff like that, right? Workplace that you're analyzing, and comments. Okay? Not a lot. I mean, it's not a lot to know, but it's important. So then you need to have some instructions. Okay? So the instructions are important because you need to have some rules. The rules are tough. For the time of the audit leader is the boss. It's not a matter of hierarchy. The audit leader just has a saying and says what, when to see, okay? Best results you get if you don't announce your audit. If you announce your audit, people will tend to manipulate the process accordingly, right? So, so the first point is who does the audit? So must be performed by at least 2 auditors. Okay, and one should be from the outside of the process. So not a process owner. And a process owner should accompany the audit. Say you go to a production line, so the leader of the production line should be in there. So you need to have process knowledge. Which usually comes from the process owner. It's the expert. And you need to have audit knowledge, which usually come from the audit leader. Both are necessary because the audit is a specific process, not the process going on in the factory, right? So can you follow online?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
So 3.2, 3.2. When do we perform the audit? While the process is running, okay, so you do it when they are producing in the factory, and without previous notice. Okay? So nicht vorher Bescheid geben oder so. important aspects. For team members, an audit is a way to empower, is a method to empower. So at the end of the day, you want to empower your supplier. You don't go there like a police and saying, meh, 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 meh. You go there to, or you don't go there to find mistakes to reduce cost or to get your people down, you know, to kick them down. You use your audit to generate trust, okay? It should generate Trust. Vertrauensaufbauende Maßnahme, okay? So, wir wollen die Leute mitnehmen, nicht kleiner machen. We audit processes, not people. And this is easier said than done. So if you go, let's say you're coming from the central in Stuttgart and you go to some factory in Brazil and you go make an internal audit, the guys in Brazil are gonna think, oh, this fucking German guy, I hate his guts. Okay? So he's coming here to tell me how to run my party. I don't like the guy, just like that, okay? So it needs to be stated very clear, you audit processes, not people. Okay? This is important. So you inform about the audit questions up front. Okay, so you inform them how the audit is going to be implemented and the evaluation criteria. Okay. Everybody should be present. Every audit member should be present all the time. Okay? So we expect objective evaluation. So ask always why. If the auditor says, okay, this is just a 5, it's not a 7, ask why. Okay? So, are we cool so far? Online questions? Yeah? You're cool?
No,
Ja.
everything is fine.
Wollen sich den Finanzminister jetzt? Tatutata.
Die Audit-Members müssen sich dann, habe ich das richtig verstanden, dann auch untereinander abstimmen, wenn jetzt einer sagt, okay, das ist eher so oder eher so. Sie sagen, okay, es müssen die ganzen Audit-Members dabei sein.
Genau.
Und die müssen sich dann auch untereinander abstimmen.
Und am Ende entscheidet der Audit-Leader.
Okay.
Ja.
Und kann man so sagen, also für jede KPI, die man sich so anschaut, ist ein Audit-Experte quasi dabei? Oder
Ja, genau. Für jeden Audit gibt es einen Experte, der das überall macht, eigentlich in dem Konzern, weil das stellt da die Objektivität sicher.
Okay.
Okay? Gut. Weitere Fragen? Okay, und dann kommen wir zu den Fragen. Das sind jetzt natürlich anders bei jedem Audit. Okay, das ist jetzt bei einer Kostenauditierung anders als bei einer Qualität oder bei einer Ordnung und Sauberkeit Audit. Das ist jetzt nur ein Beispiel, okay? We call this Ordnung und Sauberkeit or Orderliness and Cleanliness 5S. This comes from Japanese. I learned it there, so I teach it like I learned it. Okay. So the first S, it's called. You don't need to learn the Japanese words. Okay, this is just so that you've heard it. Seiri. It's called sorting, or sortieren. Okay. So you go, imagine you go to your, actually I'm going to ask you to perform this audit in your home. So you want to do it in the kitchen, or you want to do it, or you want to let your boyfriend or girlfriend do it. You can do it, okay? So please do it. It's the best way to learn it. And so you need, you get into the kitchen and say, okay, sort everything, sort all items, and remove everything that you don't use. Okay? Mm-hmm. So everything you haven't used in the last 6 months, put it away. So sorting through all items in a location and remove all unnecessary from the workplace. We're cool, right? So, and everything that hasn't been used for, like, let's say 6 months is removed. Good. The second S, Seiton, or set in order. Sunheit. Put all necessary items in the optimal place for fulfilling their function. So now you need to think, okay, I need the knife here, I need the spoons here, I need the pans here, I need the salt I need here, so everything in the optimal place so that you have everything outlined, okay? Can you picture it? Mm-hmm. Third thing. Say so. So this means cleaning. This is pretty clear, okay? Clean and inspect the workplace. Okay. 4S. So So you clean the machinery, you take the oven, you clean it from all the grease, and you take your fridge and you clean it, and you take and underneath the board you go and clean, whatever, right? Fourth S is seiketsu. Which is standardize. Using CPDNA, especially the A, right? You know CPDNA from project management, I guess, right? And then the last is 5S, the fifth, is to shitsuke. This is the most difficult. This means sustain. This means the process of discipline. To keep the standard. So probably if you have the experience, you clean the kitchen, and a week later your boyfriend or girlfriend has made a mess again. Or you clean the bathroom and it's again a mess, right? So keep the standard is the most difficult part. Not just to clean, but to keep it. Okay? This is shitsuke. So this was a question last year in the exam. Okay? Not these questions, but imagine you are in the kitchen. Okay, I don't know. I don't remember. Or you're in the bathroom and you want to perform a 5S audit with your Mitbewohner. Okay? What steps are you going to go through so that you get, and then you are going to tell me these steps. When I say CPDNA, please don't put just CPDNA. Do the little drawing, okay, with the steps and blah, blah, blah. So in this lecture, I try to interconnect everything else. Okay, so you're gonna get a lot of references to the past so that you refresh what you have already learned, okay? Is that cool? Good. Any questions online?
No, not so far.
You're cool?
No.
Good.
Yes.
Very good. So I press stop.